Well, hello my fellow video gamers and Let's Players, I'm JettlePlays, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. In the last episode, we started the game off by finding that Plankton, the evil mastermind of this game, has created a whole bunch of robots and forgot to make it so they obey him. He is kinda stupid, as you see right there. But now, in this episode, we are going to be going to our first level, Jellyfish Fields. Let's go.
The rolling green hills of Jellyfish Fields, a place to experience nature at its most raw, and sometimes a bit tender from the stings.
Squidward, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, you barnacle head. Do I look like I'm okay?
Well, your nose does look pretty big. I mean, bigger than usual because it's usually pretty big. And you look clammy. And oh my gosh, you're bald!
I've always been bald, but now I'm stung all over.
Well, according to the Jellyfisher Field Manual, severe jellyfish stings can be treated effectively by applying a thick layer of king jellyfish jelly to the affected areas. King Jellyfish?
Well, I guess you're off to scale Sport Mountain and die a horrible death under the vicious tentacles of King Jellyfish. I'll stay here, balled up here in excruciating pain.
You do that! Don't worry, Squidward. I'll bring back that King Jellyfish jelly for you to rub all over yourself.
Well, SpongeBob, you made it kind of a little bit sexual there, but welcome to Jellyfish Fields, the first level in Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Man, I sound very formal in this Let's Play. I do not know why, but I guess I'm trying to take a little bit of a different approach to commentary, but I'm still going to try to be myself, which means I'm going to talk a lot, because that is what I do best when I record. I talk a lot. But anyways, this level is pretty generic. We have these generic robots here, which I believe are called fodder. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure that is what they're called. Also, we have these jellyfish, which we saw in the beginning of the game. Well, which that was like literally a part ago, but I never really mentioned it. You can just hit them. We do not get anything from them, unlike the movie game, which because for some, well, not for some odd reason, I'm pretty sure a good amount of you are probably here that have already seen my movie game Let's Play. If you actually have not seen it, you can check it out on my channel. I don't mean to like self-advertise too much, because I'm not a big fan of that. Kind of like I'm not a big fan of telling people to like my videos, because I don't know, it's just, I always kind of had the mindset of if they wanted to like the video, they will like the video anyways. Some people have said that it, you know, just to say it makes it so they remember to like the video, but then again, I don't like many videos to be, well, I mean, I like videos, but I don't physically like the videos very often. But anyways, now that we can stop not mammering, what the heck is mammering? I mean, now that we stop rambling on, there is a sock down there, because socks are very great, and we have 5 of them. Is 5 a lucky number? Probably not. I mean, 7 is a lucky number, and I personally think 13 is, because that is that's my birthday, June 13th, 1998. But anyways, we have to pay this clam here. That is another feature of this game. You have to pay clams in order to get stuff built like that, which I believe that was a slight reference to the one episode of SpongeBob where we had like that one thing. Sorry about that cut there. I kind of had to cough, which I'm not a big fan of having coughs in my commentary style or whatever. That is why sometimes I'll have to cut out, because, you know, I kind of have, well, not really allergies, but I think it's also because it's kind of winter now, and when it's winter, you might get a cough because of colds and stuff, but I believe I do not have a cold. One thing that I really did not like, though, was I believe it was back in September, right when I started my junior year of high school, which that's the year of high school I'm on. I don't know why I would say my junior year of high school. If I can get these things, that'd be really appreciated, because that would just be great. And I believe there was an underwear up there, but we really don't need that underwear. But what I was trying to say is, I had this horrible runny nose that would not stop for at least 2 weeks, and I really hated it, because I'm not a big fan of having to get up in the middle of class to get a tissue, because, I mean, you're kind of expected to do that, but I just never really liked it. Maybe it's because I'm not a big person of drawing attention to myself, yes, because if you didn't know, I'm actually a shy person in real life. It's kind of weird to know that that's kind of what I am. It's just, you'd think someone who talks really well to the audience would be like, a person who talks a lot or whatever. But no, I actually do not talk a lot to people. I mean, I do have a few friends that I talk to, and I will talk to people if they talk to me, well, most of the time. But anyways, let's get off that topic. What I'm trying to say is I'm not the biggest people person. That did not make any sense at all, because the people person is kind of like one-eyed, one-horned, blind, purple people eater. Except not really. Maybe I'm thinking of that because of Halloween. I actually remember that I had a song, like, on a Halloween album that was called Monster Mash. It also had Monster Mash on it, but here's Gary.
Gary, what's shaking? Wow! Wow! A bungee jump for a golden spatula! I must be in heaven!
I don't know what your version of heaven is, SpongeBob, but this is a bungee hook. It is basically the wedgie of this game. You to go on this bungee hook, you can get this good old golden spatula, and we got our 4th golden spatula from bungee hooking with our underwear, to be exact. I know it's kind of weird. There are a lot of references in this game to some of the SpongeBob episodes, like that was obviously that was a reference to the good old Hooks episode, if you remember that episode. And also, yeah, you could actually, if you did not hit that button and looked down there, you'd be able to see that there were shiny objects there before they even went up, which would be weird. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, but which would be weird, but then you realize that these platforms come up for you to go on after you hit the button, so it's like, never mind, we can actually go on these platforms. But I believe we have actually, no, yep. Well, I guess I forgot that I mean, I knew there was a cutscene here, but I guess I expected it to play a little bit faster. Here's our second robot, Hammer. Hammer is not actually that bad. If you didn't get it, it's a pun, because he has a ham on his little stick thing. Well, we know what kind of stick that is. It's not anything inappropriate of a stick. It is just a stick. Now, the reason I really don't like hammers in this game, it's kind of the same reason I don't like fodders. Well, actually, no, fodders I don't like because I'll try hitting them, and they'll hit me anyways before I get to hit them. But the hammers I don't like because of the reason that their hitting radius, or, well, I guess you could be like, whatever, well, blast radius or whatever, the radius is kind of big, so you can accidentally get hit by them even if you were not supposed to get hit. That you need the bubble bowl for, which you might be wondering, what the heck's the bubble bowl? Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. It definitely will not be the end of this game, but it will be a little bit until we actually get into what the bubble bowl has in store for us. But now we are just going to be worrying about this thing, which I am lucky I jumped there, because I'll tell you right now, if I did not jump there, I might as well been good as gotten a hit, if that makes any sense to you, because I was gonna say I might as well been good as dead, or whatever the saying is, but you will not die from a hammer. I believe there are no enemies that will do a one-hit KO move on you. This is not like Fissure, which I believe, yeah, Fissure, Horn Drill, I believe, is another one. Sheer Cold or Guillotine from... I almost said from SpongeBob. I meant from Pokemon. Yeah, I'm kind of in like the Pokemon mood because I've been playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. If you really want to get that, you can, but I would not suggest that. But I've basically, like I said, I'm really into Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which I really find those pretty good games. I mean, I feel like in those games, they kind of hold your hand. Because there's a lot of times that, well, I don't mean to spoil, but there's a lot of times that May will actually come up and, like, help you out or whatever, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's nothing really big, but, yeah. I mean, Ruby and Sapphire, I mean, I never really played all of Ruby and Sapphire, but I knew they were a little bit harder than this game, because back then, games did not hold your hand nearly as much as they do now. Now, as you saw there, I got our 7th sock, but there's also another sock we can get from up here. I really hope I am not missing any socks by doing this. I'm kind of doing all the socks off of memory, because on my one playthrough this game previously, I'm trying not to mention it too much, but on the one playthrough this game back 3 years ago, I kind of had to look up a guide for a lot of the socks, and since I did that, I kind of remember a lot of the socks by memory, which is kind of sad. That is a teleport box, which we can use this if we have the other one open, which I never opened down there, which could be actually, no, I do not have to worry about that right now, because, well, there's one thing we have to do, but this is a Duplicatotron, which is not letting me press the A button fast enough. What these do, it's like the big ones, only little, basically, because it's, well, they basically produce robots. You gotta hit them to destroy them, make sure you get out of their blast radius, because if you're in their blast radius, they will hit you. Also, they have blast radius, but they didn't hit the button. I don't know exactly how that worked, but we have another golden spatula. Good ol' 5. I thought we had more than that, but I guess, yeah, we only had 2 golden spatulas before going into here. But now we are able to go into the Jellyfish Caves.
Wow! Mermaid Man! I have all your comics and toys and mail.
Huh? What? Oh, yeah, it's that Sponge Kid. And now, what was I supposed to tell you?
That Patrick is surrounded by robots and needs my help.
Huh? Oh, no. I think it had something to do with massaging my feet.
Well, if massaging your feet will save Patrick, then massage I must.
Help! They're making me hit myself!
Massaging your feet isn't working. I think I'd better try a more direct approach.
By clipping my toenails?
Here I come, Patrick!
Good old Mermaid Man. Always love him as a character. He also has a different voice in this game. Well, I mean by that, I mean from the actual TV show. Because as you know, Mr. Krabs and this character have different voices in the TV show than in this game. I don't know exactly why, but I really hope I get this sock right here, because that is the whole reason we're going on this alternate path right there. There we go, thank you. Luckily, they make it somewhat narrow enough to get it, but please, can I get this up here? And no, I cannot get it up there. And I died for the first time. That was not what I want. Oh, that was actually really nice, though. That provided a really good shortcut to get up here. Now, getting this one sock, as you saw, the one sock up there wasn't that bad. This next sock I have trouble getting, because what you have to do is you have to jump at the end of it so you can get up to the one area, which is a little easier said than done, except, I almost did it there. There we go. That is how you get up there. I knew once I stopped talking I'd be able to get in. We already have 10 socks. We could go to Patrick if we really wanted to and get a golden spatula. But as I said, we are not going to be doing that right now. Which is kind of weird because if you think about it, there are only 80 socks in this game. Because you can get 8 spatulas for it, because every level has 8 spatulas you can get, except for bosses, or one exception where there's 2 for a boss. But we're not going to get into that later in the game. It's not really a spoiler saying there's bosses, because, you know, most platformers have bosses in the games. If platformers didn't have bosses, then it's a really boring platformer. I mean, I don't know, Bubsy 3D is probably bad because it doesn't have bosses. I mean, it's bad for many other reasons, which luckily I have never played that game, so I never had to gouge my eyes out, as some people might say, because, well, yeah, I've heard that game's really bad. I mean, I've watched the JonTron about the Bubsy collection. You know, like, the first 2 games were, like, I mean, they weren't horrible, but the third game definitely was not Crash Bandicoot, which is before that, but I'm not going to be talking too much about that, because he already went over that in the video, and I am advertising a lot in this playthrough. Advertised one of my playthroughs, advertised someone else's video, oh my goodness. But anyways, we are almost done with this so-called battle arena, which as you hear this music right here, it's the music of a later level, but that is basically the battle arena music. But after we do all that, we don't have to kill all the robots, but after we do all that, we unlock that little platform stuff there, which allows us to get to Patrick, which we are not going to abuse right now, because what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be killing some other robots, because, you know, killing robots for money is what we do. Because that is what happens when you are not careful, and when hammers are really stupid and have a very big blasting radius. Ah, good old burps. I mean, I could have just cut out the commentary there and not had to cut out the video, but then, whatever, I decided to do that off the top of my head, or off the tippy top of my head. Anyways, let's talk to Patrick.
Hey, SpongeBob!
Woo! Thank goodness you're safe, Patrick.
Well, of course, SpongeBob. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, the robots and the...
Oh yeah, I found this for you. I don't know what it is, but it looks important.
Thanks, Patrick. I tell you what, all that running around has left me pooped. Why don't you continue on for a bit?
Okay.
And now we are brought into the other character in this game. I mean, there's 3 characters in the game, spoilers, but one of them is Patrick. I mean, through deductive reasoning, you can probably find out what the other character is, but I'm not going to be saying it right now. Oh, Jesus Christ, we are not going that way. That could have been a really bad thing, because we could have killed ourselves. Now, you might be wondering why I'm backtracking instead of going there. Well, because in the first area of Jellyfish Fields, there's actually a good old sock that we can get by using Patrick, which... what I kind of have to do is I have to go back to the one area, because if I skip travel to the area, which I guess is a way you could call it, because if you pause the game and go to the spatula, you can go there, but I find it the better way is to go just back there as Patrick to get it. because I believe, like, well, what I was going to say is if you skip to the, like, one of the golden spatulas, I believe you go back there as Spongebob. So that is something you really kind of don't want to do. So you want to just go here as Patrick so you can just get this done and over with. Now, luckily, when you're at the top of the mountain, you can just jump all the way back down. But the bad thing is I have to get one of those teleporter boxes in here, and he just killed himself. Great job, robot. You just killed yourself for nothing. But let's see. I believe the one thing we need is actually down here a little bit farther, because once we get over here, we can do this thing. Yep, there it is. See that thing off in the distance? We haven't even gotten introduced into the normal one of these, but this is a freezy fruit. Yeah, freezy fruit. Only Patrick can use this freezy plant. But luckily we have Patrick right now. We can use this freezy fruit right here. And we can go and collect... Well, collect? That is a weird way of saying that. We can go there and collect our 11th sock. Luckily we are already right over here. So I should be able just to take this teleporter box right here to the beginning of the level. Well, not beginning, the end of the level, so I don't even have to worry about that. Luckily there is a cool little effect, as you saw there, that it kind of snows everywhere when you do, like, one of those freezy fruits. That is kind of one of the only... Actually, no. There are a few other times you have to do that freezy fruit thing in order to get a sock. Now that we are back where we were before we went and backtracked and stuff, now we have the regular version of this throw fruit. Now, there's actually kind of a weird way of, like, one person is trying to pronounce the throw fruit, which is a little weird. I mean, it's actually Patrick who does it, but that is not until a little bit later in this game. But, oh yeah, we can also pick up tikis like this. We can pick it up, and I believe, whoa, that's something that happens too. If we get interrupted by a cutscene, it'll just automatically break whatever object we're holding, which is a little bit stupid, but I guess that is something that happens for some odd reason. Now, after I hit this object right here, I'm going to have to say that that is about it for this episode of Let's Play SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. In the next episode, we are going to be continuing Jellyfish Fields, maybe finishing it, but probably not. So, this has been JettlePlays saying see you later and goodbye. And Patrick lost his pants there. Classy move, Patrick.